Did a Facebook?
It's going in. It's going to be live in YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah, I can always share it on there.
it's live
Okay,
now.
we're live right now. All right. So yeah, hey everybody. So it's Chris Marie with Be Free with Chris Marie, and we are going. Oh, there we go. Here we are. Hello,
Hey,
hello. Hey,
how are we?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Doing wonderful. Thanks for having
Wonderful,
me.
wonderful.
So
I
we're gonna just go right down the line and everybody introduce themselves. I haven't done a live and I don't really know how long, so nobody's expecting to be live. We don't know who's gonna be looking because I haven't done lives in a minute. But here we are doing live. We're about to have some girl talk. I'm afraid of the girl talk. I'm just gonna be real. Because I'm in an awkward spot in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll see how this goes. So everybody knows I'm Charissa Marie. And next we have and you.
Okay, hi, I'm Shay. Shay, just Shay. No middle name. Just Shay.
and I am Vanessa. No middle name today.
All right. Okay. I'm excited. So Shay was like, I know we could talk about. I'm like, good, because I was going to down a different road, down a whole different road. So I think this will be good. I think these are conversations that ladies like us have with each other on the phone or hanging out. But I think it's good to kind of open up these conversations because we can maybe get some feedback
Mm-hmm.
too. Um, so I'm gonna start. Shay, you're gonna hop in. However, Miss
Okay,
Vanessa, hop in. However, okay.
Okay.
let's
So
go.
here's why I'm a little afraid for me of having this conversation because I'm sort of. Oh no, we
She'll be
lost
back.
her. Okay, we are. I'm sort of. I am like in limbo, right?
Okay.
So I literally. Okay, she's back. I've been going through a separation divorcey thing for a couple of years, right? And it
Okay.
it just got weirder last night. Okay. So, which is why I'm nervous about, conversation. But let's talk about it. Like
Let's talk about it.
Shay, you mentioned you were talking about how is it men our age, like men of the more mature group are dating, they want to date younger. Okay.
Younger. It was a comedian that said something to the effect, and I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about it on the radio this morning on via 103, and basically he said he likes dating down. He
Oh.
likes dating younger and dumber women
Mm.
because women, I'm assuming his age, or women that make the money that he makes or more, want to be his equal. And one of the guys on the radio said, "A woman is not my equal." He said a woman is not his equal because he'll beat her down.
Was that
Huh?
Corey Holcomb?
I think, did you hear this conversation? Yeah.
I've been hearing
So
Corey Holcomb for the past couple of months say that he would rather date somebody much younger with less baggage, um, and who needs him financially. And he knows that she can't go nowhere.
Mm.
I said, well, do you, boo?
yeah,
He sounds real insecure, right?
Um, I don't know if it's insecure or he just has not matured past a certain age.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, I think it's all wrapped up because he wants someone that can't go nowhere because he knows if someone, like, so that it seems like you're a little insecure. So if you got someone like me or you or one of us, then and we feel like we're not gonna have certain conversations, we're not gonna entertain certain conversations, not at all. We're not going to participate in the riffraff. And also I might be like, and I could do better. You know what I
And
mean?
that's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want a woman to have options.
So let's
Mm,
let's look at it from this perspective. I'm gonna hit you with the twofold. Um, One, I think sometimes men our age want what they should have married and had in their 20s to build on. They
yeah.
want that same mentality that they had, or the woman that they would have married out of high school, where you grow
Mhm.
together, build together, and she will be more dependent upon you and she will be that.
Mhm.
You want that same type of mentality out of a woman, but we've already lived our lives, so we have that in place. So I think I don't know, necessarily think it's a lack of maturity. I think it's the fact that they want something that they missed when they were younger, because they were
Mhm.
out here in the streets playing the field or working or doing whatever it was they were
Mhm.
doing. So I don't know that it necessarily lacks maturity. It just
Mhm.
maybe lacks emotional intelligence to realize that women of a certain age have already lived that part of their life. We
Mhm.
have we have worked and we have become what we have become. So we're not going to be that dainty little housewife that you would have had when we were 19, 20, 21 years old. So
Yeah.
maybe it's not just so much maturity, lack of emotional intelligence to realize that,
Mhm.
hey, this isn't where they are at this time. Then the other half of that is that we as women, we know we can beat a man down.
Mhm.
We can beat a man down. And I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just our defense mechanisms kicking in because of what we've been through. You know, we're
Mhm.
mothers. And I'd hate the fact of, men saying, well, you chose your baby daddy. People change. So
Mhm.
even though I may have had a baby with this man, after that baby came, things may have changed. He wasn't that man that I had in the beginning. Those red flags weren't there. So we went through some things in these. So from our 20s to our 50s now, we went through some things in those 30 years.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not that we're meeting these men with the resistance to beat them down. We're just so guarded. We're just so scared because if a heartbreak did damage to us in our turn 20s and 30s, what's it going to do to us in our 50s? It's going to be devastating. And we got more time behind us than in front of us. Well, I hope
Mhm.
not, but still, I don't want to be spending my 50s nursing a heartbreak. So I
Yeah.
think there's a we can play both sides of the fence in that.
Mhm.
But I don't necessarily think that because these men want a younger woman, I think it's the fact that they want something that they should have gotten when they were in their 20s and they were too busy doing other things. And now they're like, "Oh, I want to settle down. I want a family." Where
Mhm.
we've already raised our families. We've already done all that. So
Mhm.
that's my perspective from both sides on it. So I try to be like a little open to both.
Mhm. Well, I think there's a couple of more sides to that, because we talked about how he wanted to marry young. Yeah, he should. He's married. He wants someone he should have had when he was younger. Now, what about? Because I'm almost in this other spot. What if you were both younger, not young, but you were younger, and so but you mature, you grow, you realize what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what you can live with, what you can't live with. And now you are vocal, and now the man might have a problem. Like, well, that's not how it was when we were 20. Because that person had a natural evolution. They evolved, and so then we got that, what I mean? It's the same situation, but it's like, so yeah, I'm not. And maybe they thought they could communicate they communicated in a way that he thought was acceptable, but where maybe now she's like, no, wait a minute. Now that I've lived, I'm thinking my worth is much better than what I am letting pass. I let this go for so long. But that's what you were about to say.
I was about to say, and I hate to be generalizing. However, this has been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Men go in relationships expecting us not to change, whereas
Mhm.
we go in relationships expecting everyone to change and grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I wanted in my 20s is definitely not what I want in my 30s. But if I spent 30 years from 20 to 50 being the same person, that's not good for either me or him.
Yeah.
That's
So
called stagnation.
Mm-hmm.
stagnation. It's called arrested development.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Arrested
Mm-hmm.
development. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what Corey is looking for in a younger woman. He's looking for that arrested development. She hasn't developed past a certain age and allows him to be mentally in her head to control her every move. And
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. But here's the thing: younger women don't want an older man who doesn't want to do anything but tell her what to do with her life. Especially
Mm-hmm.
when he hasn't done much with his life.
But see, that's that I'm gonna disagree. These young girls don't give a damn what these guys saying. Long as they giving up that bag, and that's what as long as they giving up that bag, these little girls don't care because they're gonna get that bag, they're gonna do what they want. They lack the moral compass that we had.
I
And,
think
and I say
initially,
that loosely because I have my wild days. Let's not be let's I don't want there to be any misconceptions about that. However, they lack any type of, and I'm not going to say all, I'm not generalizing as well, but they lack what we had in the fact that they're going to do whatever for the bag. And I do mean whatever.
right?
We
And but
did our stuff
that
for
only
fun.
lasts that only lasts so long, and after a while, they
They
are
don't
looking
care.
for something different, and they're going to be looking for something different in the man that got the bag from. And in his head, all she is the bag to me. She's a placeholder right now as a bag because eventually I am going to find someone that I do want to spend the
So
rest
that's
of
a
my life.
win-win. So in that situation, it's a win-win for both of them. She getting
But
what
it,
she want, he get what he want.
true, but then there's again me stuck in the middle. I'm single, not dating. I'm an adult.
But is
I
that the
got
kind
more
of man you
years.
want to date though? Is that the kind of man that you want to
No,
date?
I
That
don't want
is
to date him. But
that
the
is
ones that
right. With
but the
that
ones
prey
that I
on young
would like
women.
to date are not looking for me. They're not looking for a mature woman.
Somebody's audio.
It's not me.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
We're
would say
it
this:
went away.
we were in church. We were at this G Pearl
You went to church?
meeting. Yeah,
I'm
hush,
so proud of it.
hush, don't do me. So it's called G Pearls, and one of the things it was a topic, and I don't want to say too much because it's what happens in G Pearl stays in G Pearl. But the one lady said something really profound. One person said, "Where do single women go to find a man?" And I know we popping off the topic, but the other young lady come up and said, "You ain't going nowhere to find a man because you're going to find a man doing your purpose, walking in your purpose."
And this
So
will find us.
exactly that's what I'm saying. That man is going to find you walking in your purpose, not
Mm-hmm.
us finding them. So these men that are out here doing what they're doing, those aren't the ones that are they're not supposed to find us. They're not supposed to find you. You know what I'm saying? Because your purpose is not putting you in places where those men are.
Right.
So that's why those men aren't finding you. They're not worth your time and worth your efforts. So we ain't worried about them.
So and I'm gonna take it back a little further. By natural selection, women outnumber men. By natural selection. So let's see. Sis, how many siblings do you have?
Mm.
I have
Two.
one. I have
And
one.
a girl or boy?
She's a girl. We're
Okay.
4 years. She's 4 years younger.
I have four sisters by my mom. My stepdad had two girls and a boy. Shay, how many sisters do you have?
I'll total. Hold on, I was counting them up. Hold on. My dad has, let's see, there's Sherry, Angelica, Rasheen. Then my mom has two. I have five biological sisters.
Okay, so just by natural selections, these three families here women outnumber men.
Absolutely.
So by natural selection, not every woman is going to be chosen to be in a relationship. Just
Mm-hmm.
because we outnumber, we're not even counting the men that are not available. Just the in our family alone,
The
one, two,
math, yeah.
just 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 three, four, just between the three of us is only four males.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that we're going to date our family members,
No,
but just
but I get it. It's just the number. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
numbers, sheer numbers. So adding to that, just by natural selection, do you think that maybe we need to have communities where you know where I'm going with this, right?
I do.
Communities where there are more
Let's
than
go.
one woman to a man, but as long as he can take care of each woman equally. Do
Okay,
you
hold on. Wait, say it all over again. Hold on. I gotta catch up.
so by natural selection,
Uh-huh.
we are outnumbering men. We're not counting out anybody. We're not putting any kind of parameters, the jail, the gay, the absent. We're not putting any of those parameters on it. Just by sheer
Right.
numbers alone, we outnumber men.
Mm-hmm.
So is
Okay.
it possible that naturally that we are supposed to have these communities where there are maybe three, maybe four women to a man, as long as he can take care of each woman equally?
We're talking about polygamy.
Uh-huh.
I've thought
Uh-huh.
about it. Have I entertained it? No, out of fear of how people will look at me, to be honest.
Oh.
I'm being perfectly honest.
So, Charissa, so you've been married. I've been married too, but that didn't count. Cause I'll say that till the day I die. He did not count. But would you think possible for you
I'm
to
too
share your
greedy.
husband?
No, I
Right,
can. Not even
right.
because
So when
for
you put
me,
it like that, Shay, it's not attractive.
well,
But
for
it's
me,
real.
it's not even for me, honestly, on a real, forget what people say. I could care less. It's what what serves me. So I want all the attention. I just don't want to share. And like, you know what I mean? That's just for me, it's not even about what Mary Jo and them say. It's just that, and this has to do with how I am in relationships and how I like to give. Because I like to
Mhm.
give a lot, right? I don't want to share. And that's the bottom line. Like, that's all it is for me.
Okay. Also, let me put this.
This is good.
Thank you. So,
Mhm.
and I've been thinking about this for quite a while. So when women get married, we lose access to resources. You know why? Because we
We
stop
just
talking
talked
to
about
our
that.
male friends that one can paint, one can fix the air conditioner, one can fix the car, one can cut the grass. We lose access to those resources. Whereas as a man, when he gets married, he never loses access to his resources because he has a friend that he can reach out to say, "Hey, Carissa's doing this. What does that mean?" And I could give him a point of view from a
Yeah.
woman. Or your husband reaches out to Shay and say, "I want to get Carissa this bouquet of flowers." And Shay will ask her, "Well, does she like flowers? If she doesn't like flowers, why are you buying those flowers?" You know, it
Mhm.
gives him a different perspective. Whereas, like I said, men don't lose access to their resources, but women do.
Well, see, I am maybe not the regular woman because and this goes back to we've had conversations about accidentally emasculating men, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those women who I install my own ceiling fan. I know how to change my own brake pads. You know what I mean? I know how to, you know what I mean? When something is broke, that's usually me. You know what I mean? So I I guess this could be the problem too with us with women because like I'm good. If you were to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to miss your company. You know what I mean? And, and you
Clap,
hot?
clap, clap, clap.
I know. Look, I got my air on zero
Ooh,
today
Jesus.
because I didn't want no issues. But
Man.
I but I think that could be for me. Here's what I was thinking about long and hard, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this out loud.
This girl
But
talk.
oh Lord, okay, so I hope my mama ain't listening.
We love you, mom, but this grown folk conversation right here.
Right.
Well, this is conversations that we couldn't have with our moms because
That too.
Yeah.
they didn't have the vocabulary to speak to us
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
that's right. That's true. But she might just be on a whole different thing. But here's the thing. So, you know how it's getting hard out here in these streets? For real, for
Yeah.
real.
Yes,
You know
it
what I mean?
is.
Like it's hard out here. And although I am currently separated from my husband, who I've known honestly since middle school. We didn't date in high school. We didn't get married to our 30s. It's a weird little get up, but that's how it was.
Hmm.
And so there was some growth, but there was we just find ourselves it's a whole lot has happened. But as I look at my current situation, um I didn't want to ask him for help because I was trying to define that's your house, this my house, that's your house, this my business, that's your like I got business. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no business because I still operate like my husband's wife. You know what I mean? Just in a different house. I still kind of operate like that for the most part. And so
Mhm.
whenever I even consider thinking about maybe not operating that way, something convicts me, and I'm like, ah, I can't do it because technically I'm still this man's wife. And although he knows how to find the undergird of my soul to irk me in a way that no one walking on this earth can. He does it so well. Now on the flip side, he also knows how to walk into a room and command my uh attention in a way because of the way he smells, because of the way he speaks, because of when he's not acting crazy, he's hot. You know, and because
Hot.
and, and because he knows me in a way that I don't have to explain to anybody else, and it's just comfortable.
Mm.
And like after so many years, who the hell wants to do the thing all over again? Like I'm finding myself like uh challenged because I'm so prideful, and he's told me sometimes that's to your detriment, and I think I've only known you, Vanessa, for a minute, but I'm sure we can all speak to that. You know, we're women of this age, but I find myself thinking, what can I live with, and what can't I live with? Because who wants to go start all over again?
So, and Shay, I tell you, there was one relationship where this man, and I can't keep saying he dragged me. I allowed myself to
Mm-hmm.
be dragged mentally, psychologically, emotionally. I allowed myself to be dragged because I wanted to be in a relationship and I wanted the relationship to work.
Yeah.
I was ignoring red flags. I was. Because I had never invested in any relationship like, at that time. I just never did. I was like, if you don't want to be with me, fine. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I put in to him what I shouldn't have put into him.
Mm.
And that allowed me to be manipulated. It allowed me to be dragged. It allowed me to be now hardened because I said nobody will ever get me like that again.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
mean nobody. And it's not even about emasculating anybody. Like Shay said, at 58, I am not trying to nurse a broken heart. I'm just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and who's to say that I'm going back? Monogamy is supposed to be for me. Who's to say that? Who's to say I am supposed to be with one person?
Yeah.
There's a possibility that Vanessa is supposed to have more than one partner. It's a
Mhm.
possibility. I don't know. Is it
Mhm.
something I'm willing to explore? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because
See, go
what
ahead.
Shay?
No, because on the topic of the polyamorous relationships, clear and true transparency,
Mhm.
I don't generally like to share either. However, at this age, I ain't trying to let you run up in me every night. And
Mhm.
being
Yes.
married, I that is something that terrifies me into thinking about being married, because now I'm obligated to be with this man even if I don't want to.
And
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing, and it's not even about just him not being desirable. We have been through so much, and I don't know if you noticed, but Shay and I are both military, and
Yeah.
we have
Okay. I knew you. I
a
knew Shay
lot
was.
of traumas from the military that a lot of people don't understand. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't even understand it, and we still don't understand it. We are getting help for it now, but a lot of people will never understand those traumas of trying to build with somebody, and then the military is saying, "Hey, your husband has to be on deployment for 6 months." What?
Mm-hmm.
So then we got used to long distance relationships.
And I
Me
think that's
too.
why we
Because
separate.
I'm military
Everything in
wife.
the military. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I
I
mean, I get it. Yeah.
So, and I think, you know, again, with us being in the military, we look at relationships differently than
Mm-hmm.
somebody who was not in the military, because the military prepares you to be by yourself. Military prepares you for full on survival mode.
Yeah.
Um, and you're talking about being independent, putting up a ceiling fan. Me and my daughter put up TVs. We changed toilets. My daughter is married.
Yeah. Mine was too.
You know what her husband's job is? To keep the kids out of the way while we put shit up.
That's kind of like my household. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's not about emasculating from us. From us, it's about, okay, I know how to do this. Let us do it. You keep the kids out of the way. They feel
yeah.
emasculated, but at the same time, you're not willing to learn what we learned to do. I wasn't born knowing how to change a fucking toilet,
Right.
but I learned.
And it's a matter of two. I'm not gonna wait for you to do it if I can do it. And so,
so
if you feel emasculated, then is that me or you?
so at what point do
Like,
we have these expectation of these men. Well, let me rephrase that. We have this expectation of these males because not every male is a man. So I won't,
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
that. No, see, and that's what we do. That's
no, but
the tear down. We're not meaning
that's the
to.
fact.
No, we're not meaning to tear them down.
It's not a tear down for me. That's the factual truth, because not all males are men. And it takes a lot more to be a man than just swinging your little 6-inch pole. So at
Six
what
inches.
point, well, how they say, what it ain't the size, it's the motion. Bush. But with that being said, if we have these expectations of our males and men, yeah, girl, I know I had one of them. I can't stand you. Anyway, does that mean that are we settling? Because if we have these expectations of these men that we have in our lives, are we just settling when we just go ahead and do it ourselves? Why do we not have that same demand on them that they have on us? Because if they expect you to do your girlfriend or wifely duties, as they say, if you get there ready to lay down with this man and you say no, no, as many times as you ask him to take out the trash, mow the lawn, put the ceiling fan up, clean the garage, as many times as you ask that man to do that and he didn't do it, if
mhm,
you say no to him getting the cat, there's going to be a problem over here.
mhm.
So, as women, and as a married woman, you can answer this. Like, at what point are you just settling? Are you choosing peace? What is it that you're doing?
Mm.
Because to me, as a single woman, if I got a man living in my house, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. Hmm. Hello, boyfriend. If we boyfriend and girlfriend, and I got to do everything plus go to work, what you here for? So am I just settling to have somebody? And is that the like what? So where?
Mhm.
So when you say you're in that space where you may see him and get that weakness, then you got to ask yourself, is that what you want to go back to? Because if you as the wife, you were working, taking care of the kids, making sure they get up, get to school, get the breakfast,
The
get lunch,
mental load, the mental load.
Mhm.
all of that, the things that we don't see, those invisible
Pressure
worries that we have.
things.
If you
Yeah.
have to do all of that plus what he is supposed to do, if we're going with traditional gender roles,
Hmm.
then what are we doing? What do you have that man there, that particular man?
Right.
What do you have him there for?
Well, here's the thing. The cool the cool thing is I am not in his house. I'm in my house. And I can help him to see things from a different perspective because I'm not in the house where you can just take me for granted. I'm over here. And so one of the things I did say is we can't keep doing the same thing the same way because then we're going to end up in the same place. So
So you
there
have
will
to
have to
change.
be.
So from that, instead of you saying, I'm trying to show him from my point of view, stop trying to show him from your point of view.
No, that's not what I mean by that is the fact is my point of view is that I am not in his house on the
Hmm.
very basic level, not show him from my but what I said to him is that we would have to do things differently, and that would include counseling so that we can see how each other needs to communicate, because I don't think we ever, in fact, I know we never really grasped that. We've been winging it. And so
Hmm.
when things get out of sorts and we get angry, we don't have the dialogue, or we don't really know how we should go to this person. And so seeing it from my perspective and seeing things from his perspective, he's over there, I'm over here, so he can see me now. He can see me now because he has voiced things like, well, I know you have a life and I don't really, but
Yes, you do.
I but
Yes, you do.
I know what I mean by that is what he's implying. I don't date. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's what
manipulation to get you to tell him what's going on in your life.
I know it is. It is absolutely.
So,
But what I'm trying to say is I'm kind of glad that it keeps him a little on his toes. You know what I mean? He's looking at things differently. He's like, so he's asking me questions he didn't ask before. What do you like to do? So what kind of things do you want to do if we were to go on a date? We haven't dated. You know what I mean? So he's seeing some kind of value because there's a possibility that perhaps somebody else might see the value. And that's okay. I think that's good that he might think that I got a dating life,
yeah.
but it makes him kind of like, so what do you like to do? And then I said to him, so I don't mind going on a date with you. So what are you doing? Because it used to be always me planning the thing, and he would pay for it, but I would have. So I said, you let me know, put some thought into it, and he
So,
said, bet.
and did you have you guys gone on a date?
This just happened last night, this
Okay.
conversation. But he sent me a event he wants to attend. I'm like, okay, this is something that he knows I like. So I guess he's been listening. So
So
I don't
me and
know.
Shay had a conversation earlier today, and I have a friend. I have two friends that didn't even know each other.
Mhm.
I introduced them 6 years ago. They've been married for 6 years now. And
Wow.
she told me when they are having conflict or they need to talk to each other,
Hmm.
they say, I want to talk to my friend XYZ. I don't want to talk to my spouse.
Yeah. Hmm. That's important.
Oh, they say, I want to talk to my friend.
Hmm.
And the conversations are a bit more productive because
Yeah.
now I'm taking the emotion out of it. I'm taking the expectation of my husband, wife
Mhm.
out of it, and I'm having a conversation with my friend. And I
Mhm.
thought that was so great of them to be able to communicate that way,
Yeah.
because communication is hard.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you, I have one daughter. I was in the military, and there was a lot that happened between the time I left to the time I got her back in my clutches. And we had to go to counseling. And one of the things we had to do was learn how to communicate as human beings, not mother and daughter.
Mhm.
I had
Mhm.
something to say that I needed her to hear me and I wanted her to listen. She had something to say that she wanted me to hear and she needed me to listen. And we were like this.
Mhm.
We were like this. So you know what the counselor told us? Write each other a letter. Don't give it to each other right then. Write each other a letter and put it in the mail.
Mhm.
So by the time you get this letter, whatever you had to say, there's no emotion attached to it. Then
Mhm.
when I read what my daughter had to tell me, I had to receive it because guess what? I had no one to argue with. I had
Mhm.
received the information she was giving me, and
Mhm.
vice versa. And we did that for about a year until we got a rhythm of how we learned each other as human beings and then mother daughter. And
Mhm.
Shay will tell you now that we have a whole completely different relationship than when we were younger. Because
Mhm.
guess what? We both put in the effort to grow.
Yeah.
You know, some people
Yeah.
don't put in effort to grow until it's too late.
Mhm.
So with you saying that, I'm wondering, when we talked earlier about men and women in relationships and marriages where one person grows, and of course, if I haven't changed in the 20, 30 years that we've been together, then we have a problem within our relationship because we supposed to both be growing. But
Mhm.
with that being said, if we're not growing, what are we doing? And I want to
Mhm.
sit back to what you said to Carissa when you said he's showing an interest in you now.
Mhm.
Is he showing an interest in you now because he thinks someone else is giving you the time of day, or maybe he saw a post where you may have been out and now he's saying, okay, she's not out with me. Who is she out with? So now I am not going to let her get an interest in someone else. So I'm going to stake claim again
Mhm.
because I don't want her happy with someone else. So I'm going to stake claim again. I'm going to put that bait out there. I'm going to
Mhm.
reel her right back in, give her everything she wants, like the honeymoon phase that we all love when we're in
Mhm.
a relationship.
Mhm.
So is that what is happening? Can we, and I say we as women, period, when we go through these relationships and we get that rocky point and we're ready to move on, and then here comes Joe Schmo. Oh yeah, baby. Hey, I realize I miss you, and now I want us to work. Well,
Mm.
you got to show me. You got to
Yeah.
show me. It's not just asking, thou shalt
Mhm.
receive. You have
Mhm.
to show me. Oh, so now he's showing you. He's taking you to dinner. He's buying you flowers. He's what's the new term? He's love bombing you. So
Mhm.
how are we going to know the difference of a love bomb or the real deal? Because he can
Yeah.
even go to therapy. He can do all of that long
Mhm.
enough, whatever it takes, because men know how to play the long game.
Yeah.
Woo!
Women,
Yeah.
women, we not gonna play the long game. We gonna play the short, sweet, and keep it moving. They know how to play the long
Mhm.
game. And will he do that as long enough for to get you back?
True. But the conversation did not start off as let's get together. The conversation was,
And it never will.
but it never will. But remember, we've been friends since middle school. So what the conversation started was about our kids and
Mm,
what's going on here and how I don't know what you're doing over there, but at my house we will be having some respectful children. They will not be, and I'm gonna need you to back me up. It started off
mhm,
there, and then I said, I'm gonna need us to. Can we just, you know? we were friends. Be friendly with me. Speak to me nicely. That's what I said. I said you need to speak to me kindly. You get blocked because as soon as it looks unkind, you get blocked. So
So
let's
y'all are
not.
still in a very emotional tug of war.
And it's for 2 years. You know what I mean? But I will say this. Hmm. A lot of it is familiar. He's familiar.
Mm.
Okay, a lot
Hmm.
is that he's familiar. But I will say I do, and then we are gonna miss things about our persons, like sometimes sitting around watching CNN or having conversations about stuff, or you know what I mean. It wasn't all bad,
Hmm.
but I just want proof. You know what I mean? I want proof that you can't, that you're not going to revert. And if you do revert, what are your tools to get out of that, so that we can grow from that? Because we're human. If you revert a little, I'm not gonna throw you in hell. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
or look, well, let me
And
ask
me
you.
too, because I'm sure there are things that he's like, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you. Are you are you looking for him to change traits, personality, actions?
That's
Are you looking for
impossible.
that change, or are you looking to say, hey, that was cool then, it's not cool now, so I need to change how I'm responding and
Mhm.
reacting to who you are? Because you can't really change him or expect him to change,
I
but
don't
you
want
can.
him to change. I want him to act right. And what I mean by
No, no,
that,
no, 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 no,
no,
no,
no, I'm
no,
sorry, it's
because
true. Here's what I
you,
mean by that, though, because he is going to be who he is, right? Those parts of him that I like. There are sometimes I don't. It's when he gets in his, and this goes back. He was also military, and he needs, and we all need consistent counseling, right? So when he, and I did not mean to be speaking about this because I haven't gone through the process yet per my lawyer. But uh when he gets, I have to be careful because it is, when he is a certain way, um it's it's bad, right? It's not good. Um
and those are
so,
traumas.
but I have to, my thing is, if you acknowledge that, I'm aware of that, but you are okay with, maybe I need someone outside of me to give me the tools I need to verbalize how I feel in a different way. Maybe I need someone outside of me, and me too, to slow down and hear what the person is saying or not saying, so that I don't jump to conclusions, so I don't verbally hurt someone. You know what I mean? So I just need to see, just like children that, like perhaps in a classroom that I might be in, you put forth effort. If you put forth effort, I can get with that, because I'm not expecting perfection, because I'm not. But if you put forth effort, and I watch my mom and dad, they're not perfect. They're still together. You know what I mean? They're 60 years later, and it's been up and down, but someone had to put forth effort when it was hard. And so if someone put forth effort, then that's something I can hold on to. And that's why it was so hard to leave also, because honestly, maybe watch my mom and dad. And also there's so many feelings like, I'm gonna fail, I'm failing, which is crazy in hindsight. But if he puts forth effort.
So let me ask you: do you think
Mhm,
that you both can Change the way you communicate with each other.
That's my thing. I said
Mhm.
if you are okay with going to counseling and I'm okay with going to counseling and we can figure out how to talk to each other,
But
then
even before the counseling, you know that the way you guys communicate right now
mhm,
isn't working.
it's not
You know
working.
that,
We
right?
can't do it now.
You
Yeah.
know that. He knows that.
Mhm.
And here's the
Mhm.
thing: in order for him to be able to communicate with you like he always does, you are going to respond like you always do. If you feel that the way he's communicating with you is not conducive, it's up to
Mhm.
you to stop at that point and say this is not working.
That's why I'm here
You
and
know,
he's there.
and
I'm
it's not. I'm not even talking about just the whole split. I'm talking about in that particular moment.
That's why
Say,
he gets
hey,
blocked
this is
immediately.
not working right.
Yeah.
So, but with that, Vanessa, you have to have someone that's receiving it. You
Yeah.
can say that all day. You
Yeah,
can
you
Well,
say
can.
this mode of
and you know
communication
what?
isn't
Let's
working for me. But if that man or that woman isn't receiving what you're saying, it's falling on deaf ears because
right.
what they're
But let's
feeling
stick
is
opinion in.
they're right.
Let's stick a
I'm
pin in it
right.
and revisit. There's nothing wrong with saying let's stick a pin in it and let's revisit.
So like so like Sharon is saying, that person has to be
Be be
calm and
ready.
cool enough to hear it. And that's
Right.
where we have a problem.
Okay.
So I have had to say to him, I heard your last text. I got it. And then I would even say it sounds like it's going for a turn and it's time for me to sign out.
Hmm.
So I'm giving him, I'm letting you know that how you're communicating to me is no longer acceptable at this in this period of time.
Hmm.
So I'm signing off. And now if he could turn that around, you know what I mean? And but what would happen before I left, we would go back and forth because I would be emotional, like, what? And then I didn't like that because I'm not like that naturally. And I didn't even like what I was turning into. I
Hmm.
didn't like that I couldn't even read my text like, what? I said that? Oh, right. But
Oh my
you know what I
goodness.
mean?
Yeah.
And this is what for me, I said this to him about the kids because don't start none, don't be none. Really, I'm that girl. Like I don't start no stuff, but I don't don't play with. You know what I'm saying? I won't start it, but I'm not gonna let you continue to. But if he had even before I left could hear but he wasn't even at that point to kind of. So somebody had to kind of step away.
Step away. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't make me cry up on this live. I'm not supposed to be talking about this subject,
Hey, here's the thing. When you
but
cry, you start clearing out and you start thinking clearly. You start thinking differently when you let those emotions
uh,
out. So if you got to turn off the screen, get your little cry on, go ahead, baby. We here.
but this is so like personal, like, but it's just like you know what's so funny about us is the people that know us, even with what's going on here, and even with all the things that he says about me to people, true and not true, they're still kind of like, you better go on back to that. Like because we've known each other, even our mutual friends, we've all known, and they were like, there's I've done worse. Like his friends are saying, I've done a million times worse. Are you kidding? Like, but because he gets stuck, like stuck, like Chuck, it is hard. And that's why he really, I don't think we're going to be successful without some intervention of counseling. There's
Is
no
he
way.
is he open to it?
He said so yesterday. And that was our first conversation. And that's only why I'm even entertaining this
Hmm.
because I've already lived through 2 years of him not. I've lived more than 2 years. That's just, but you know what I mean? But if he could do it, then I would consider.
So I would, it's just like It's like this, not being a married woman, being single for quite a few years. I tell my married friends, work hard, put in that work.
Yeah.
Put
Mhm.
in that work for your relationship, for your marriage, because these streets, there's these streets is rough. And
Mhm.
even though if you're really getting out of a marriage, it's not like you're going to jump into another relationship. But when you do think about it, it's hard out here. It's
Yeah.
hard out here. But you have to also ask yourself, you mentioned your parents and
Mhm.
the longevity of their relationship and their marriage. Um, we know that our parents and our grandparents went through things in their relationships and their marriages. However, what was different about their going through than our going through is our world is it's a total 180 than
Mhm.
what they had. We have forces coming against us that our grandmothers never even thought about. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be jokingly in this. We got BBLs to contend with. We got buttless. We got boobless to
Mhm.
compete with. The women out here, they play dirty. Now,
Yeah.
granted, women always play dirty with husbands and things like that, but these women out here playing real dirty now.
Yeah.
So when we talk about trying to salvage our marriages and relationships, the things that we contend with are different.
Mhm.
Our parents, our mothers, and our grandmothers, they were stay at home moms. They stayed at home. My mother,
Mhm.
when she was married to my dad, she was a stay at home mom. And she was Betty Crocker in the kitchen cooking homemade meals from scratch, baking everything. You know what I'm saying? He was the breadwinner. So what he said went. My grandmother, same thing. She was a stay at home. She never worked. They had to put up with the things that their husbands did. Your mom is old school. And I don't know. I've only talked to your mom a couple times. She's a sweetheart. We don't know what your dad did. We don't know what she went through in that relationship and what she tolerated. But she was in a position where she really couldn't do much. But us, modern day women, baby, I can get out and work. I can pay these bills just like you
Mhm.
can.
Mhm. See,
So
what?
that's where I get conflicted because
Yeah.
how do you really want to fight to stay in something that I don't know. It's like, should you have to work so hard?
Hard. Yeah. And
It's just
would it be
like
so
that. I
hard
don't
with
even
a new
like
one?
do things.
But here's the thing too. Like my mom's generation was that's where things started to change, and that could be why I am the way I am. Right? Mom worked full time. Dad worked full time. Mom didn't like cooking homemade stuff. That's why I don't really know nothing about macaroni and cheese. I had Kraft, but because she was you know what I'm saying. It was a little bit. And that's where things I can even see as a child looking at things now, some conflict there, because mom worked, dad worked. He was the head of the house, but mom worked, dad worked. I know how to fix stuff because of my mama, not my daddy. You know what I mean? Because and I get that kind of from, well, it needs to get done. I'm not waiting for anybody to do it. I'm just going to do it myself. And I get that from her, right? But that could cause conflict, for them, in general. So you are right in that I don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm walking on ice because I don't want to make the wrong decision based on because it's comfortable and familiar. But on the
Right.
other hand, I like laughing with him. You know what I mean? I like that even with all the crazy, he says something profound. And he said, I'm never changing the key to this house. Like this my house is your house. If you had to lose that house, I would stay in the other room and I wouldn't even mess with you because I got you no matter what. And that was the most it's not the first time he said that, but that was a glimpse of the person that draw me to him in the first place. Like, oh, he
Mhm.
got me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? He's my ace. You know what I'm saying? And that and it was just kind of a wasn't even it was just a conversation we were having about stuff going on over here. And I'm like, it's good to know that there's somebody in the world besides my mama and my daddy that kind of got me just in case something were to if I had to go to jail, somebody would come get me. Yeah. I mean, God, that would never happen. Oh
Damn.
my God, why would I even speak that?
Okay, so
But you know what I mean.
now Shay's mom was a stay-at-home mom. Your
Until
mom
she
and dad,
wasn't.
huh?
I said until she wasn't.
Until she wasn't. Your mom and dad worked, and your mom would cook, but she resented it, right?
She, you know what? She hated cooking because her mom made her. Isn't this funny how life is, right? So she had my mom had one sister and four brothers. She had sister, I mean, mostly brothers. And her parents were very traditional. Grandma didn't work. Her name was Beauty. She didn't work. Granddad worked, and she was beautiful too. But grandpa did work, and it worked great, right? But mom said during the summertime, grandma made her cook um, breakfast, supper, and dinner. I'm like, what the supper? I think it's like a supper dinner kind.
A
So
snack or something.
yeah,
A heavy,
because
That's the
heavy
modern
snack.
day brunch.
A
right,
heavy snack.
okay, yeah, because grandpa would come home for lunch from the car company, eat lunch, and then go back or whatever. But so she resents cooking, really. So she'll cook, but she don't love it.
Okay, so my mom and my dad both work. Okay, my dad is my stepdad. He wasn't our biological father, but
Mm-hmm.
they both worked. They both cooked.
Mm-hmm.
They both enjoyed and loved cooking. My mom would do mostly dinners. My dad would do breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. When I say breakfast, I mean sausage, egg, grits, all the things that made breakfast. And he would come knock on the door. Breakfast is ready. Come on and eat. Or if
Mm-hmm.
we wasn't feeling good, Papa would bring the plate to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So us watching that, we thought they had a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, I didn't experience my dad like my mother experienced her husband. And that was
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to learn and hard for me to accept because how can he be so great to us? And then we can hear them behind closed doors just going at it like it was World War XVIII. It's like, what the hell could y'all be arguing about? This is great. But guess what? They didn't know how to communicate with each other. My mom taught me how to clean, the sewing, the softer side of being a woman. Whereas my dad, he taught us cut grass, change oil, build tables, check the. My dad taught us all of that. So with me having, I'm going to say it's balance. I'm going to say it's balance because Shay met both my parents. Shay met my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
With me having both of those energies, it has been very hard for me in relationships to, I don't want to say soften up. I don't know if that's a, it's hard. It was hard for me to be traditional. I'm gonna put it
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that. It's hard for me to be a traditional woman because, like you said, if I ask you, "Hey, can you put this lampshade up in the living room?" and 3 hours later, this shit is not still up. Why am I waiting for it to get up? You know what I'm saying? Why am I waiting for you to put up?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? My dad taught me how to do it. And if
Mm-hmm.
he didn't teach me how to do it, he said, Ness, if you don't know how to do it, ask someone
Mm-hmm. Go
how to
get.
do it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said when women get married, we lose access to resources. Because that one man, I could tell you, even from just my relationships and watching, that one man cannot be every resource that you need.
Yeah.
Whereas again, men don't lose access to the feminine resource.
Mm.
because he can still call on Shay to say, "Hey, flowers? What kind of flower would she like?" And Shay would say, "Well, does she like flowers? Let's start there. Does she really like flowers?" And
Mhm.
if he says, "Well, no," then Shay would say, "Well, why would you bring her a flower?"
So,
Mhm.
with that being said, I want to kick off this. Carissa said something in regards to familiarity.
Yes,
Okay.
very familiar. Yes.
So, if we're talking about familiarity amongst um, us and our partners, um, how familiar are our partners with us
Mm.
if they have not known or learned us by this time? If I've been let's just say I've been talking to the same guy for, like, let's say, the last 4 years. Okay. Let's just say we've been talking, we've had in depth conversations, we are familiar at this time.
Mhm.
As my partner, I don't expect him to have a conversation with me and say things that he knows triggers me. Because if he is familiar with me and familiar with my soul and my spirit, and familiar with me and is intentional about loving me, he's not going to put things in my presence to trigger me or make me feel less than.
Mhm.
And I don't think that any amount of time with a partner, 1 year, 2 years, 20 years, especially after a 20-year mark, he should be familiar enough with you to know how to access you genuinely.
Mhm.
So when you say that you're familiar with your husband and you like that familiarity, you're familiar with him, but how familiar is he with you? Because for me, if he was that familiar with you and intentional about Charissa Marie, you wouldn't be where you are. So that goes back to, do we start choosing ourselves and peace, or do we settle so we can have somebody with that familiarity?
Familiar.
Mm.
So that,
Yeah.
and again, that's why I said, I encourage my married friends to do what you can to save your marriage, because these streets, again, they
Woo!
are no joke, okay?
Treacherous. It is
However,
treacherous out here.
however, I cannot think, and I can't grasp or put my head around the universe sending someone to us that doesn't speak to our person,
Mm.
that
Mm.
doesn't speak to our presence. These people that are our partners, they got to be our safe space. And
Yeah.
because as Black women, we know we carry the world on our shoulders, okay? Black men carry the weight of the world on their shoulders because they are the most hated creature on the planet. So we got to be their safe space. And I think when we are in relationships, we really try to be that. But if that is not reciprocated, what are we doing?
Mm.
And if this man has not seen your value in 20 years, do you think being separated for 1, 2 years, or being out of the house for for the duration of time, do you think he really sees your value now?
Mm.
And better yet, do you see your own value?
Mm.
Do you
Mm.
see your own value? And do you consider yourself more worthy? Of course, in the eyes of God, you don't want to destroy your marriage. You don't want your marriage to end, because that's what God has prescribed you to do, to be with this man and one man. Okay. But again, we're living in a different time, in a different world, with different things coming up against us. But ultimately, even for you to pour back into that man, if y'all did get back together, if you did that, will you value yourself going back to that? And that's for me, that's for you, Vanessa, that's for any of us talking about going back to a man that we were with that didn't value us.
Mhm.
Are we going to value ourselves enough to say, you know what? I love you, but I can't put myself back in that.
I have to love me more.
Got to value
Mhm.
yourself.
I have
And
to,
with
yeah.
you,
And,
yes, you
and the
got to.
difference, and also the difference between our generation and our parents' generation. Our parents didn't have the words to express
Yeah.
themselves. They didn't have the emotional equivalency that we have to be able to express how we felt. And I remember my dad one day said, "Baby, I'm gonna tell you something, and I can't explain it, but when you get older, you'll understand it." I was like, "What are you about to say?" He said, "Men need to feel needed, but they don't want a needy woman."
Oh, I got that.
You
Mhm.
got it now, but at
Yeah,
18,
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not something that I was ready to. What the hell is that? I don't,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
understand it now. But guess what? The men in our age group, they want us to need them, but only when they want us to need them. We can't need them on our time. We have to need them when they're ready to be needed. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
But
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
almost a double-edged sword with that
It is. It is.
because
But
we that independent woman throws men off because we're showing them that we don't need them. And
but
if
we
we tell them, if we showing them that, then they feel unwanted, unneeded. So now they're going to go to a woman that shows them that need. So it's almost a double-edged sword now
but here's
because
the thing though.
we gotta have that fine line between I can do
Needed and
this, but
yeah.
I don't need you to do this, but I
Mhm.
want you to. It's like a fine line
Mhm.
because when you start not wanting to weigh him down or nag him, as they say, then now, oh well, damn, she don't need me, but his work wife is sitting over here. Well, honey, she lucky she got you at home. You change the light bulb, you take out the trash. I wish I had a man like that. And guess what? Next thing you know, she got a man like that, yours.
Bent over the desk. But what I'm saying, and Shay, and I get that. But also, let's take it back. In our 20s, if we weren't approached and I'm gonna just use this as a taken off the market, what
Mhm.
were we supposed to do in those years that we were not with anybody? Or were we supposed to wilter away and die? Or are we supposed to make our lives comfortable so when somebody does come along, he'll understand that this person existed before I even knew she existed? And that's like what a lot of them have a problem with is they don't realize that I existed in this world before you even knew of me. So
Yeah.
what did you think I was doing before you came in my life and realized that I'm a person, I'm here?
Mhm.
Did you think I'm supposed to roll over and die and just let life happen to me? Or am I supposed to pour into me and follow drip? The hell was that? Okay, I'm about to. Ah!
What is it?
Hey,
Fine. I'm
girl, you
sorry.
act like you saw a bat.
It was big. I'm sorry, y'all. It was big. It was huge. Um, but as a single woman, and I've been single way longer than I've ever been in a relationship, what am I supposed to do until that man realize I exist?
Mm.
So that goes, we just did a full circle moment with this because we go back to the man that said he wanted this woman who was young and dumb. He doesn't want a woman who is experienced and has lived life. And that's what we were saying, that it's not a matter of them being young and dumb. It's that you come to us and you want us not to have any lived experiences. We have lived experiences and you can't take those away from us. However, even though we have lived experiences, that doesn't negate the fact that we can still be a good woman. We can still be that submissive woman. We can still be that
Mhm.
woman. We can be that young dumb in a sense. In a sense, in a small minuscule sense. We could be, but I'm saying we could be what you're looking for, but you have to
Mhm.
be the man that we can let that guillotine down to chop off all of our insecurities, chop off all of our boundaries.
Yeah.
You have to be the man that we can allow that to be.
Be my
Yes.
Mhm.
safe
Yes.
space, just like you want me to be your
Yes.
be my safe
Mhm.
space.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
and
that's
I
like
can
we
tell.
just came full circle in our conversation with
And
that.
Shay can tell you, my experiences. The last guy I dated, I felt really, really safe with her, and I told her that, I felt safe with him. He
Mhm.
made me feel like a woman, you know,
He put you in your soft girl era before soft girl era existed.
even existed. And the problem was he ghosted me.
And that's why we said it's hard out here for a pimp. You hear
Yeah,
me?
and he's 5 years older than me. Yeah, 5 years older than me. So at the time he was, God, this was 6 years ago. So at the time I was 52, he was 58, 59.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So let me tell you, Carissa, I wasn't hurt. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed in the fact that you couldn't communicate that what we had wasn't working.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and I saw him
After the fact.
for about 4 years after that because he broke up.
Okay.
He ghosted me like just before the pandemic. So during the pandemic, when nobody doing nothing, so it
Mm.
was easy to just say, you know what, okay, it was over. But when I
Mhm.
saw him again, he was, spoke to me like as if nothing ever happened. And guess what I did? I spoke back like nothing ever happened.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I never
Mhm.
asked him why. And still to this day, I went to New York. When did I go to New York, Shay? In June and July.
Mhm.
And I saw him both times. And we had very good conversation. He's still very attentive. It was hot in the building we was in. He's standing behind me, fanning me for at least an hour. You want anything to drink? You want anything to eat? Oh no, thank you. I'm good. We talked about each other's family because this is somebody I grew up with. This is a man that I've never not known him. So he graduated with one of my sisters. So
Mhm.
it was like he's still very nice, very attentive. I still felt safe because I knew that if some shit went down in that building at that time, if something, did you see that?
No.
Oh gosh, if something went down,
Neither one of us saw it, honey.
I'm not crazy. if
I
something,
mean, I'm not saying that, but
I need to get
I'm
my frost
crazy
right.
without saying I'm crazy.
Mhm. But if
We'll
something
watch for
went
it.
down, I knew that I wouldn't I wouldn't have to think about what was going on.
Yeah.
Around him, I could turn off my brain. You know how they say women can turn off their brain around their man, around their husband?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
could turn off my brain and
See,
wouldn't
I
have to
couldn't
worry
do
about.
that after the fact. See, you ghosted me, baby. I promise you, I probably wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire.
But see, his
And I that's me. And that's why I say feeling safe around him, you good.
but see, you know what? And here's the thing: it's the killing with. Yeah, I know y'all keep seeing that bug going around here.
No, we don't see anything. I promise you. That's why I'm like, I even went down to the bifocal part so I could see good.
Oh
It's
my goodness.
but he but I'm not. I've never been the person to be like, well, I ain't gonna lie, I have. I was at one time. But as I've gotten older, I realized that emotional response, it doesn't get me anywhere.
Mhm.
And right now I'm being a petty bitch because I'm not gonna ask him what happened, why you ghosted me. It's been 6 years and I haven't asked him one time why he ghosted me. But if you want to be, Captain Saberho while we in each other's presence, I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'll never give you the opportunity to get me there again.
Absolutely.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
cool as a fan, no matter what I do, is very supportive. I heard you bought
Mhm.
another house. I'm so proud of you. Oh, you making t-shirts. I want to support you.
Mhm.
He had me
Oh,
make him look.
hell no. He ain't getting my money.
No, 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 no. No. I mean, when he heard I made t-shirts, He put money in my hand, make me a t-shirt, whatever it
Oh,
is.
your tea. He put money in your pocket.
Yes.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
with that. I'm with that. Clock that tea. Clock that tea. I
Yeah, 'cause
knew that you was buying his t-shirt.
hell no.
Again, I will set your shit on fire. No, I'm
Share,
just playing. No,
share,
I'm not
Sharon
invited.
Lee, you
I'm
know
just playing.
me. You know me. So those two relationships brought out two completely different people in me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who, now that I'm single, who am I? Who am I to a relationship? Who am I to someone else? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And who I am to someone else, can they receive that and say, hey, I accept you for who you are
Mm-hmm.
through all your lived experiences? You want me to accept you for who you are, but can you do the same for me?
Yeah.
And that's where I am, you know,
Mm-hmm.
along with, um, I would entertain the idea of polyamory for right now, just to see if maybe that's my lot in life. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Get
Vanessa
out
says
of
she's
here!
ready. Yeah. Vanessa says she's ready.
We didn't see that one either.
I
Mm-mm.
Y'all seeing stuff.
yeah.
Y'all,
Yes. Vanessa says she ready. Yeah. She ain't
right?
listening to me right now. Okay. I'm gonna call you later. We'll finish the discussion. Mm.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
You missed the joke now. The
No, I
punchline is
didn't.
over
You
while
called
you over
somebody
there.
about she said she
Why
ready.
you over there chasing ghost flies and shit? You got a fly swatter, but there's nothing. You're just swatting air, Vanessa. There was nothing.
He's big. I saw him.
We didn't.
Look, and it got a hole in it.
And it went right through that hole.
Wow.
Wait, did you call who I think you called?
I didn't call anybody, girl. You know I was messing with you because I had to because of our past conversations. You ain't hear what I said?
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
could be a sister wife, but not with somebody I'm
Vanessa's
friends
ready.
with. Does
Absolutely not,
that
because
make
that's
sense?
one. Hell yeah, it makes completely sense. But at the
Mhm.
same time, because okay, I am a poly reality TV show whore.
Uh-huh.
I am a poly reality TV show whore. I watch every single poly show that there is
Really?
on TV. I
Really? I
do.
didn't know that.
Because, yeah, because it's hilarious.
What,
It's captivating. It's like
what
it's like
shows are
it's
there?
like the deer in the headlights. I'm like,
What shows are you watching? I need to
And I
watch.
didn't know there were so many.
dude.
What
So there's one where the woman has two men. There's another one where finding sister wife, seeking sister wife, and now
show?
there's actually a show called Polly, and
Well,
yeah, it's really intriguing. It's very interesting, especially when you bring in these people are they are true to it, but
Mhm.
9 times out, well, I ain't gonna say nine, maybe 8 times out of 10, I really feel it's for the sex. These men want multiple sex partners. It's
Yeah.
not about, now there's a few of them. It's about building community and building family and building that whole thing. But I think if you're looking for that type, you got to start that young. So
and you
you
have to
all can
start
raise your
where.
kids together, so you can do all this together and you can learn, as you said, growing in your marriage, growing your relationships. You start young, you can grow
Mhm.
through those phases of life together. When you've already, when you getting married at 30 and 40 years old, you are who you are. You're not going to grow in, you can him
Yeah.
can grow in a new way, but y'all not going to grow too much. But I'm telling you, these poly relationships, it's the dynamics of them are crazy. And no matter what, it does not matter if you do it with your home girl and a dude, or with somebody you don't know and y'all bring into the relationship. We women are jealous creatures.
We are. We are.
You give that woman 2 minutes or more time than you gave me. Why you give her more time than
Yeah.
me? You sleep in her room. If you sleep in her room too many nights, this one guy on there is a black guy. His name is Yahweh. And he has, gosh, I lost track.
Nope.
I think he has 4 or 5, maybe 6 wives, 4 or 5, maybe. And they are truly like some of them are really on a good plateau. And I love how the dynamics of their relationship works.
Mhm.
They pool money together, they go grocery
Mhm.
shopping together, they take care of each other's kids. It's a true community.
Mhm.
But they brought, the one of the newer girls is jealous of the girl that came right after her. Why you hitting the camera? That camera ain't do nothing.
Because he was right there.
But but well, so if you said that it's
Let me
there
ask.
aren't enough women, there aren't enough men to suffice all the women. Okay. So,
Mhm.
however, if and I'm gonna get a little biblical here as much as I can because I ain't really versed in it. But if God created man and woman to be together, wouldn't you think that there would be it, and we weren't here to put on earth to be alone. We were here to procreate, da 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 da, da so on and so forth. But you said not every woman is going to have somebody to I can't remember your exact words, but something every woman's not going to have someone. But how can that be true if what we were taught coming up in the Bible and in church? Because all of us grew up in church in a certain extent.
Mhm.
And no matter we still no matter how far we drift from that's our base, and we always are kind of morally grounded by what we learned in church and by what we learned, so on and so forth. So are we to believe that God didn't create enough for everybody? Did he not create enough for everybody to be loved,
But
for
who's
all
to
of
say,
us? But that's what I'm saying.
who's to say that the Bible is our blueprint?
Okay, and I get
Because
that. No, no, no. I that's what I said. I said I'm just going to get on the biblical side of what how we grew up and what we were taught.
right,
But then
okay, now
we do go back to Solomon. I now I saw it that
I
time.
just, yeah,
I
it
saw it
was.
that time.
it's
Okay, it's real.
huge.
It's real, and it
Mhm.
looked like it was brown.
I don't know, but I was stuck. I couldn't even get my
So,
damn thing up. But
but wasn't it Solomon that had
multiple
a
wives.
couple
More
of
than
wives? So we know that at some point in the biblical eras that this was something that was commonly practiced.
Mhm.
But do we really think that that's the answer?
So
Or
let's go
have
back.
we hold on. Is that really the answer or have we not traveled or been away from our grounds long enough? What if our man is a what if our cellmate is a short chubby man in China?
Girl, bye. But
What if?
okay, so let's do this. Let's go back before the establishment of a Bible. Let's go back before that. And I watch a lot of documentaries, National Geographic, main one, that in many, let's take it back to the motherland, many African tribes, they do not follow Christianity. But some tribes, there are women that can have multiple husbands.
Mhm.
And it works. You know why? Because husband A, B, and C don't have the same skills and resources as the others.
But you know what else? They ain't
Also,
worried about what nobody thinks either.
and
Yeah.
also
Mhm.
the tribes that the African, or I'm just not gonna say African, but the Aboriginal men that have more than one wife, that is still working for them as well. And
Mhm.
that is before the establishment of a Bible. And even to this day in 2026, you still have these Aboriginal communities
Mhm.
that work. So why can't it
Okay.
work for us?
It
But
might
okay,
work for
so I hear
somebody,
you.
but not me, because I'm
But
not.
I'm gonna ask you if you're not compelled or convicted
Mhm.
by biblical terms and you don't and it's not a moral thing for you. I'm saying because you said you don't do it because you're scared of what people will think. if you're not, because only conviction that we should have is to our maker. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that we owe. Your whatever your higher being is, your supreme
Mhm.
being, your universe, whatever it is, that's the only thing that should matter as long as that you're doing good and you're a good person. So if you're not convicted by a religious conviction or anything like that, then who are you worried about?
But
Who are
then,
you
but
worried
in
about?
the
Who are
Western,
you worried about?
but in the Western world, that's not our foundation. In the Western world,
But what is our foundation? Bible.
the Bible.
Okay, so that's why I said what I said is because
But
that's what we follow.
I'm not a Bible follower. You know that I'm not a
But
Bible
you
follower.
but you still but you're still going by Western culture and what we have been taught. Even if
Correct.
you're not following the Bible now, those morals and those ethical and religious bases have been drilled into you as a child.
And, and
You-
and I fought them. You know that. I
But they're
fought with my
there though.
mom. Huh?
But they're there
Okay, but
because there was
you
nothing
don't need
else
a religious
introduced to you.
foundation to have morals, though. You don't
No,
need a religious
absolutely not.
you don't need a
Absolutely not.
religious
But
book to
they're
tell
there.
you how to be a moral individual. You don't need a book to tell you how to be a good individual just because you are a good individual. You get what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
but a lot of what was taught, and I think I was here before in this world. I do. I really think I was here before because there's a lot of things as a Westerner that I don't agree with. I just, damn it,
Hold on now. I'll be right back.
man. I don't agree with. My mom is she's not a foundational Black American. My mom was born in Jamaica. Her parents were born in Jamaica. Their parents were born in Jamaica. I think their parents came from Africa, maybe 2 generations or 3 generations before my grandmother.
Mhm.
So I'm first generation born American. And I won't say that some of the things I learned were wrong as far as American, but in a Jamaican household, some things are different.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
and and I don't know if my sisters see these things the way I see them because we don't have these conversations. Because even growing up, I would have certain questions, and they used to say, "Oh, you so weird." My sister used to call me weird. They used to call me all kind of names, and that would keep me from asking questions.
Hmm.
So then when it came to the Bible and I had questions, I didn't get answers. I got, go read your Bible. Well, I read it and I still have questions, but it couldn't be explained to me. So I'm like, okay, if I'm reading this book that I'm told to go read, and everybody in front of me is following it, but nobody can answer my questions, why
Mhm.
am I following this book? And that was a point of contention for years with me and my mother. For
Oh,
years.
Mm.
Um, and I've even in adulthood I've tried to get back into church and read the Bible, and in this little head of mine, none of it was making sense to me. Um, and I don't knock people who read the Bible. I don't knock people who believe in the church and who believe in the entity of religion. I don't knock
Mhm.
them. I just wish that they would give me the same respect, and they usually
Yeah.
don't. You know,
Mm.
again, I would have questions. I would try to read and understand and believe, but something here was like, Ness, that ain't right. Something ain't right. Ask about it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when I would ask about it, even into adulthood, I didn't get answers. So what do you call it? What is the word they're using now?
Checked
People,
out.
no,
No.
uh-uh. You're on the right path though, but not disassociated from the church, but
no, that sounds like a good word.
okay, we'll use that word for right now,
Mhm.
disassociated.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, because it wasn't feeding me here. It wasn't feeding my soul. It wasn't giving me something that my heart and energy and soul can grasp to and say, hey, let's build from there. I never got that
Mhm.
warm fuzzy from
Mhm.
religion. I just never did.
So then what's keeping you from poly? Why haven't you found a community where you
Well,
can?
I can't get one man, never mind two.
But that, no, you're not gonna get two men, but you're gonna find a man with two women.
And here's the thing. I don't have a problem with that if we can establish all from the very beginning. I don't want somebody to come join us in our relationship that's established, and I don't want to join somebody else's relationship that's already established. Does that make sense?
But that's gonna somebody has to have the established relationship to begin with. And from my viewings of all of the relationships and things, there's always one base.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, okay, oh, we're gonna meet one day at 5 o'clock and
At
we're
one
all gonna
time.
be together at one time. There has to be a base because they're always gonna be the first wife or the main wife.
Gotcha.
That
Okay.
that seems like the dynamics of what it is. It's always going to be the first or the main, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to find somebody and unless you and somebody you know is going to go out and meet the same man and that but that man may not be physically attracted to both of you at the same time. So that dynamic, I think it'll be hard fetched to find somebody that's going to just go in and say, okay, all three of us are going to do this at the same time. When you go into these poly situations, it's a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've seen, like I said, because I be watching these shows, the woman is sometimes seeks out the other woman for her spouse because she
Really?
knows what he wants.
Okay.
And even if the man seeks out, it still has to be approved by the wife
By the
or the
way.
woman or
Okay.
the main one because you got to vibe with both of them or it's a no go.
Not gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard to say that. That's why I said maybe start finding some poly communities and just check it out. See if it is. Once you get in it, you might be like, hell no. But once you get in it,
Let me
you
go back
might
to
be
this.
like, I don't care what nobody thinks because this is life. This is what I've been waiting for.
But we
Mhm.
all have that, that are we living up to the expectations of who we're supposed to be? Like
Mhm.
But
Carissa, you're a wife. Are you living up to the expectations of a wife? Whether it's from your husband's point of view, your parents' point of view, his parents' point of view, or just people around us. You know what I'm saying? We all put that burden on ourselves. That
but we don't do that when we date men. When we out here and we see all these carnival rides when these men those are red flags I'm saying when we see them and we still go for it we don't think about how that appears to anybody else at that time so
right, because they
why
don't
would
know
we
him
think
like I know him.
but why would we care about something that's going to make us happy? Why, when we over here going through it with these men, we don't care who knows it and who sees it because, like you said, that's my man, my man, my man, and I'm going to stick by my man, my man, my man, and we don't care how it looks to the world. So why would you give a damn and how you actually seeking your happiness looks?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what my happiness is. I'm still trying to figure that out. So
It's probably over there in that poly relationship you keep talking
let me
about.
let me find me a poly community.
There's a lot of them on Facebook. I'm not in any of them. I just heard about them.
Really?
You can find, I'm sure, everything on Facebook.
Oh,
Don't
and
On
don't
TikTok. Hold on.
I
on
saw that look, Vanessa. Don't do that.
Which look was that?
Never mind. So, ladies, I really feel
Yes,
like this was a great
it
it
was.
was a great conversation. It was open, it was candid. I don't know if we got anything out of it. Maybe we got out of it what we needed to get out of us.
Yeah.
Maybe there
Mhm.
were some things laying on our chest and we needed to voice them and seek them out. But I feel like it's always great to be able to talk in a safe space, even though
Mhm.
this is live for the world to see. Um, it's good to see, just it's for me, it's just good to see three beautiful Black women able to have constructive, honest, open, great conversation without having to bash each other
Mhm.
or down other women to have good conversation. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I have. I can't
Yeah.
wait to next one because I have some good topics. I've been taking notes from this one. So our next one, I have some topics and some questions we're gonna be popping off. If you all want to do it again,
Okay, when is
I'm
the next
hoping
one?
Okay.
I'm hoping BePHREEE will invite me back so that we
Yes.
can do this.
Yeah, I'm
When is
And
the
Vanessa.
next one, Miss B Free? When is the next one?
So you guys, this one is gonna have to be so this live that we've done is so long, it's gonna be a two-parter.
Okay,
So
yes,
when
yes.
I get done editing, this will be this week because nobody's watching now. So it's gonna be just like we just recorded it.
Okay,
And
okay.
it'll be 2 weeks. And then I
Yes.
have a guest that will be on after that. So I'm thinking,
Okay,
what
okay.
is it? It's probably gonna be like maybe the third week in August. If
That's the
I'm
21st. Trying to think if I'm going to be here. I am. I'm going to be around.
okay,
Sorry.
okay, yeah,
Shay, don't say nothing.
tentatively.
Shay, don't.
Okay, this was such a good conversation. It went in a direction I wasn't even ready for. I didn't even know what I'm like. Well, we just gonna talk because
Hmm.
normally I have at least like some questions and we need something to start with. But this was really good and organic. I like that.
And you know what I like about it? Because we're at three different phases of life.
Yeah.
Carissa, you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, you're in a relationship.
I'm sorry, that fly from
That
your house
fly,
came over.
that fly, it got in your throat area. It got up in here. And
For
I'm
all
single.
for all intent and purpose, I am.
Okay, and then I'm single. So we have three different perspectives
Yeah.
that, and I respect each one of your perspective because, as I'm talking and as I'm processing what you guys are saying, I can listen and hear. I'm like, okay, I didn't think of it that way,
Mm-hmm.
but now I can. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about being exposed to different points of view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
was so
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
So, you guys, on that note, I am so glad that we did this.
Baby,
Vanessa,
please.
where are you? Are you in Georgia?
Yes.
You're in Georgia. Okay, starting point there. So
Where are you?
I am in Loganville, Georgia.
Oh, you're right around the corner from me.
Are you in Loganville?
I'm in Lawrenceville.
You're right around
Okay.
the
Hold
corner.
on. Let me fix this right now.
Okay.
I'm a very jealous friend. You all can meet, you all can have fun, but understand I am the glue that sticks this together. When you all meet up without me, we're gonna have some problems.
We're not,
Okay.
we're not gonna do that, are we? Clarissa, we're not gonna do that.
No,
Okay.
no.
Right.
But
No, you
no,
all are funny. I love this. I love this. I
this
love
would
it.
be like, and you know what? So I've been in Georgia now for 3 years. Yeah, I haven't been here long,
From where?
and from everywhere because of military life. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you know, but I ended up here not because of military, but because just because.
Hmm.
And I have when I moved here, I'm really good at being, we can I get along with everybody, right? But I'm
Until you
also very
don't.
good. I'm good at, what I mean. I'm very good at not attaching too, because
Mm.
mindset every 3 years I'm going to be out of here.
She's a
So
Virgo. Don't let that ain't it. She's a Virgo.
so I'm good.
And I'm in Aries.
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
hmm.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay,
If
Wait.
when's
she
your
was
birthday?
if she
Oh.
wasn't if she wasn't my friend for the past 30 plus years, I would feel the same way. Those Aries, baby.
No,
Ooh.
but no, really, like, so I have been on a journey. I've been trying to do things different, and that is open myself up and be vulnerable and like just like meet friends, like, and make it genuine. Because it's just like the what is the word I'm looking for? It's right at the tip of my tongue. Surface stuff. I'm good at the surface stuff.
Yes.
because I don't.
Don't you say yes, ma'am. Because if I had not known Shay for the 30 plus years that
Yeah.
I've known her, when I see her facial expressions, I know she don't like me. But I know her facial expressions. And Shay, what I tell you all the time.
Fix your face. Yes.
Yeah.
Carissa's that person too.
It's hard. Yeah, I can't hide my face. So it's rough.
Oh,
But
you
I love that I'm meeting people due to and I she hates when I say this, but she was my boss. One of my first jobs that I because she was. Because she
She's my
was.
favorite.
But it was like that was me being vulnerable. I remember thinking we can't be friends because she's my boss. That'd be weird. Because one day, what if she pisses me off or I piss her off, and then what are we gonna do? She gonna fire? And like, you know what I mean? Like it was all the things. But it started something for me to be open, to be more friendly, and just be open to like chill with some girlfriends. Yeah, it could be a Virgo thing. I'm very self-sufficient and very happy in my solitude. I mean, very content.
welcome,
Like
welcome to Aries life. Shay, I tell you, I just be over here chilling. I'm building shit, tearing shit down. I got some t-shirts I'm making right now. Yeah.
yeah,
So
this is good.
yeah, it was interesting. Are we going to ever have men on here so we could get a man's point of view?
Do we like have men on the show? I mean, I've had men on my other show, but like I've had men. We were talking about fatherhood, like three different perspectives. Some of them were single fathers, some of them were not, and the different perspectives on that. So I've had men on the show, and I think Sharon's trying to get me to someone on the show who happens to be a male. But yeah, but I am trying to stay very true to my brand, and
Okay.
that is, I'm doing things a little bit differently than I did before. I'm trying to stay focused on what it is I'm trying to do
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to build something here. But
Okay.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not opposed to it,
Mm-hmm.
especially for some of these conversations. That would be really insightful.
Yeah, because I love to hear men's perspective on stuff, especially when I'm not
Mhm.
dealing with that man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it because when you're with someone, it's an emotional attachment to it. So
Yeah.
you're hearing from an emotional filter. Whereas
Hmm.
somebody that you're not dealing with, I think we can receive some of what they're saying a little bit better.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. This was so good. I'm excited to do this again.
Me too.
So
Me too.
this is
Oh my
all
gosh.
we
We
have.
gotta get Arnetta and Rachel too. Oh my God. That would be like, ah, okay. I'm
Oh,
thinking weird. My
that's
bad.
gonna be spicy. That
Oof.
would be a nice
That
mix.
it would be such a great balance of everything from all
Yeah.
perspectives, age groups. I think that would
Mhm.
be,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
So we can do this. We can do this. Sometimes we can do this in rotation. Swap us out. That's
Okay.
good. Hmm.
Meaning what?
Meaning, because there's so many of like 5 on one show might be too much, but we can have 3 for me max, or we can have 2. You know what I'm saying? And then the
Okay.
next week we'll have 2 others. And I
Okay.
like opposing views. You know what I mean? Kind of mix it up a little bit and have different opinions. So, yep.
And we need somebody younger so we can hear their perspective.
Ornetta would be good if she would not be so shy, but we're gonna help. We're helping her with that.
No, to be
Yeah,
honest, I hate to say it like this, but
someone
I want a hood rat mentality so I can hear what I'm not hearing.
the
Because
plain truth
yeah, because my daughter's
without
39.
filter. Without
My daughter's
filter.
39 and she's not the same 39 that we see on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Girl talk, you talking about La?
who?
Did you say your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter. Yeah.
Oh, no. Lavana would just be like talking to one of us. No, we need
Yeah,
somebody
my
young.
daughter's 39, but she's not.
She's like 55.
Yeah.
Ah.
Damn,
That
Shay, did you hear what I
what?
said? LaVon is 39.
Yeah, I heard. She's old. I mean, she's getting older. All right, Lau.
Okay.
Thank you, Carissa,
Well,
again. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
welcome, Marissa.
Thank you guys.
Thank
This
you,
was
Shay,
good.
for sending me the link and inviting me. This
Sure.
is great,
Thank
ladies.
you. Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
Y'all
So
be
we
Okay.
great.
are
You all
gonna
have a good
I'm gonna
night.
hit end. Stay put for a second as we say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay,